or are you going a little bit higher
Uh,
or lower?
Slightly better. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down the middle of the road with a three here because although it was kind of bland and uninspired, it didn't really disappoint me too badly. I mean,
Hmm.
if Shane McMahon had managed to defeat them three guys, then I'd be looking at a one star. But that luckily didn't happen. It didn't get that crazy or
Mm,
that out of hand. I
oh
was
goodness.
hoping for something else, a little bit more from it. Perhaps the Miz turning on Shane, that would have been an interesting direction. Because in this, the Miz was just far too nice, far too much of a team player, far too much against his usual character. So, I couldn't believe that kind of situation. But yeah, I'd give it three because at least I wasn't disappointed with the result.
Fair enough. Yeah. So that one. Now, this then led us on to, of course, what I predicted very much as being next year's WrestleMania main event. We got here at Survivor Series, and of course, this come after the antics that happened during the week, which was so nicely explained to us by Jonathan Coachman. And of course, Becky Lynch was then replaced by the person she picked, being Charlotte Flair, up against Ronda Rousey. And again, they were both wearing their colours for some weird reason. And yeah, very, very interesting match indeed. I think a lot of people. There was some people that I got a few emails. They said it wasn't smooth enough, but I actually think that's why I enjoyed this match a little bit better, because the fact it wasn't so smooth and it wasn't so, the link up wasn't just perfect, and it did seem like there was more of a struggle between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. And I think of all the people Ronda Rousey's faced up until this point, Matt, I think that Charlotte has been probably, in terms of her, seeing her in the ring with Ronda Rousey, like the most person that I'm believing is definitely going to giving her an issue, giving her a problem here. And I quite liked that in this match. I liked the fact of where they went with it. And if there was ever a good time to do a DQ, because I'm never a big fan of disqualifications, but I felt like it added something quite dramatic to this match, and I quite like the fact that they did it. To be honest with you, before this match started, I knew there probably wasn't going to be a clean finish. I've got to be honest with you, because I just couldn't see that they were going to do that. They're already putting this match on now. Are they going to do it? I was always thinking there's going to be another match. Now, my feeling is it won't be at WrestleMania now. I believe that they will have a rematch, but I think it'll be like Royal Rumble. And I think Becky gets that spot, Matt. I don't know what you think, but that's just my opinion on it. I think that something good has maybe come out of this for Becky, and the fact that she's maybe going to get that spot now for sure. And I don't know why, but I just, for some reason, I see something happening with Charlotte and perhaps Shayna Baszler down the line. But it was interesting. What did you make of the match, Matt? And of course, seeing this, this anticipated match that we had been talking about for a while, probably since Ronda came to the WWE, Matt.
I think they did this in a clever way. I mean, I know it all came about by just pure opportunity that Becky got injured in that, but I do feel like the way that they have built this up and the way they've worked it during the match, and the fact that Charlotte has now had her heel turn during the match, it does set up things up for the future. But I'm a little bit more of an open book with this one. I'm not going to say it will happen at WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble, but I would hope it would still be on for WrestleMania, because the taster I got within this match, I did really enjoy it. And I did kind of feel like during this match there were ups and downs, but for me it did kind of expose Ronda a little more, because we all know that Charlotte is in WWE and in professional wrestling, she is one of the best in the world. So of course, Ronda may be a legitimate fighter, but it still takes a little bit of adapting, and there's still a smoothness you have to perform to. And Charlotte, I'd say, she has great matches, but she's not the best at carrying people that don't carry themselves very well. I'm not going to I'm not trying to bash on Ronda but this will come come in time, but she's still quite new to the sport. So I feel like that will get there in the end. But it was a little bit of an exposure to her. And I just felt like at the end of it, when you're seeing all these things, especially with the chair shots and the kendo stick shots that were happening, these are all kind of like first time things for Ronda. Like these are experiences that are probably just everyday things to wrestlers, but to her, this is like, ow, like didn't know what to expect from that. So it's interesting to see how these things come about and how she reacts to these situations. For me personally, I do hope that it happens at WrestleMania. I think it is still that big quality match. We didn't get the finish we wanted, and it's like when two worlds collide. So I definitely want to see a result to this match sooner or later.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about a WrestleMania match, whatever it is, whether it's Becky versus Ronda or Charlotte versus, I don't want it turned into a triple threat. I just think if you add another person to it, because I did hear rumours that they were even talking about a fatal four-way between Nia in there as well, and it just waters it down every time you add a person. I want to see a big marquee match. If they're going to main event, I want it just to be one-on-one. I think just get the two best. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see a triple threat. And I don't want to see a fatal four-way. I just think one-on-one should be the way it should go. That's just my opinion on it. So yeah, I did enjoy it. What I didn't enjoy about this match, quite frankly, was Ronda Rousey's entrance. Again, just getting worse by the times that she's coming out. For me, being a Ronda fan, now she's doing this thing where she's giving away stuff as she comes down. I don't know what to say anymore about it, Matt. But the aftermath wasn't particularly well done either. I mean, I don't know if Vince had that vision of sympathy was going to happen, but surely, Matt, after you saw what happened with Becky when she turned heel, when everyone was cheering and booing Charlotte, they must have thought, oh, that might happen again, because fans get excited when somebody turns a heel these days. So everybody, in a weird way, including me, I prefer Charlotte as a heel, so it makes me happy, that I'm seeing it. I'm like, yes, they've given her the right role, and that's why I'm excited. And yes, she's bashing her with the chairs, and it's exciting to watch. So why they thought that it was just going to be, in this day and age with the fans, like you were going to get that walk off with Ronda, I think this was long overdue, Matt. I think they've been lucky up to the point that they're at, Matt, that this has only just started to happen with Ronda, to be honest with you. And I hope this is a wake-up call for the office to say, hang on a minute, we need to be more careful of how we are presenting her. Because, yes, we know she's arguably the biggest star on the working roster in terms of the numbers, but there's every opportunity, as you know, Matt, for WWE to screw this up. So I feel like it was a big wake-up call on that one. Because, let's be honest, Matt, if Ronda had been in Charlotte's position, bashing her with chairs and stuff, you would have got the same type of thing. But I just think at WWE, they don't know their own audience sometimes. Because I think people, in their own mind, they would rather Ronda be a heel as well. And that would have probably got really cheered, because then you see Ronda as a badass even more, and she can actually have some attitude, which you kind of want, which is why Becky's over in a strange way, because we're seeing the better side of her, like Charlotte. It's very odd, isn't it, Matt, that to be a heel just makes you edgier and better sometimes for the crowd, isn't it? Like, it's almost like a license all of a sudden to be like, you can break free of being positioned as the one. And it's like a rebellious thing, I prefer it. So yeah, I enjoyed the match. I know it had a DQ finish, but I didn't have expectations of a clean win, that's for sure. I think the fact it wasn't so smooth and it was gritty and it was up and down, I liked that. I liked the fact that there were those those moments in it, and I actually think it's kind of a shame they're on different brands, because I think Charlotte and Ronda, they're the sort of, hopefully it would happen when it does happen, they have a program with each other where you get a few matches out of them, not just one or two. Because I think the more Ronda works with someone like Charlotte, she'll learn a lot quicker than what she's doing at the moment. Because at the moment she's having to be the dominant one against all of her opponents, and it's not always helpful. So I think if you're in there with Charlotte, I mean, even if they pulled, I'm surprised, Matt, they didn't do anything with Natty and Ronda in a way as well, because Natty's a really good teacher if you get a program out of them too. So I don't know, I just think she needs to be in the ring more, Matt, with more experienced talent, and I'm not even sure Naya's the right person, to be quite honest with you, because you're just not going to have that kind of match with her, unfortunately. So, but yeah, overall, star-wise, I give this 4 stars, Matt. Really not too many issues with me on this one. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I'll agree with that, and even though I was disappointed that it didn't finish with a clean finish, I wasn't disappointed with the heel turn now.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty decent, and the only thing I will say is, though, like, following night on Raw, like, she's come out and she's beaten the hell out of, like, she proper got beaten the hell out of, and she's smiling again. What is there to smile about? Like, you got your ass kicked and humiliated, and you're coming out smiling.
Yeah, I was expecting. I got to be honest with you, and we'll talk about this with Raw anyway, but I was expecting Ronda to come out with a real, like, chip on her shoulder and to actually absolutely annihilate Mickie James. I wasn't expecting Mickie James to get in as many shots as she did, to be quite honest with you. But then when I saw her coming out smiling, I thought, I'm not. There's that one gone. I wasn't expecting anything more. But I was expecting her to come out absolutely, try and break her arm off and be so livid of what's just happened. But again, it's that consistency of storyline. They're not very good at it, WWE, at the moment. It's just awful. But yeah, 4 stars anyway. Happy for the heel turn, much like Matt. And then, of course, we go to another match, Matt, which was completely changed around at the last minute for reasons we really, I don't know why it changed now. Maybe because Daniel Bryan didn't want to fly to Saudi Arabia, perhaps. I have no idea. But was that supposed to happen there? Probably. I'm not sure. But before we get into the match, Matt, how surprised were you that Daniel Bryan become the WWE champion again, considering his very up and down run with The Miz and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for today's day and age and how, like, people are always, like, putting things out on social media before you even get a chance to see it yourself, I feel like I would have been, like, in the moment, I would have been really surprised because AJ was on a massive roll, and to me, AJ was the man for SmackDown, and he was not doing anything wrong. He was doing everything that he needed to do, and the fans were solidly behind him. There was no reason to change champion. I do think, like, there was a bit of a shock factor to Daniel Bryan doing that, and also it does help him having a bit of a heel turn because the direction he was going in was maybe getting a little bit stale. But definitely surprised. But it does, like, bring about this different match. I mean, I can't say I was expecting to see Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan like quite like this, the way it's come about. But for me, it's done and dusted now, and a bit of a strange kind of match to come out of nowhere, but another first time for the books, I guess. Yeah,
and again, this is another match that I predicted would happen at WrestleMania. I was really, I'd remember hearing Paul Heyman talk about Daniel Bryan as being one of the guys that Brock had always spoken about that he'd like to wrestle against, but never got the opportunity to at SummerSlam. I think it was like 4 years ago now when Daniel Bryan won at WrestleMania 30, and of course Brock won the streak. I think they were destined for SummerSlam, but then of course Daniel Bryan got injured, and then of course this opportunity come along. It's interesting how quickly it's almost like a sum up of last year, Matt, when Jinder lost the title, because he was heavily promoted to fight Brock, and then right at the last minute AJ Styles is in there and they throw that match in. So it was very odd, Matt, that if that was always the plan, the fact that since Crown Jewel they've been sort of, you even had AJ Styles looking on the monitor that he'd be facing him, and that was the match. They already announced it then. So it was very odd that they promoted the hell out of it, Matt, and then they even had video packages played up here and posters to suddenly change it the way they did. It was just a strange thing. Speaking of Jinder Mahal, Matt, what a year. I mean, crikey, talk about a drop-off. Seeing him come on the go-home show, get completely destroyed by Brock Lesnar. That, for me, I said it on the mini podcast, I thought that was... I know there's a lot of things you say WWE about timing and the irony of it, but that was definitely set up for me. Somebody somewhere, whether it was Vince, was having a laugh somewhere, because, you know, to send him out on the exact same sort of time to say, well, you were champion last year, this is where you are now. You want Brock, well, you get him, but you get to get beaten up by him. You know, in fact, Jinder Mahal a couple of weeks ago was on main event, Matt, against Zack Ryder. He lost against Zack Ryder, as I saw. I can't believe that